Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com and I have a minimal mixed media layout for you today. And if you did not know, I did a whole series of minimal mixed media and I love to include paint or sort of paste on my layout. And this is one of the easy ways to do it. So I pulled out some more Disney Animal Kingdom photos, which you guys know I've been scrapbooking Disney again. If you haven't checked out my Disney playlist, definitely check it out. I'll have it linked down below in the description box. But I have 3 photos from Kilimanjaro safaris at Animal Kingdom, and we saw 2 elephants at the watering hole here, and I pulled out 2 close-up photos of them and then 1 just at the area itself. And it's definitely a great way to use a DSLR with a zoom lens. Is on the safari. Highly recommend it. Phones are pretty good about zoom nowadays, but they are quite far away. So if you are going to go to Animal Kingdom and want really nice photos of the animals, highly recommend a DSLR to bring with you, or even a mirrorless camera has some good options. But to start, I use a ton of my kit for How to Kill a Kit with Style for the month of November. So if you have not already, definitely check out that playlist where I show you everything that's in this kit, and I'll have the products linked down below that I featured that are still available. But I'm actually starting with a background that's outside of my kit. This is actually a paper studio background. It's got these beautiful banana leaves, and it's got sort of a light pink background, which works really well because those are the embellishments. The direction I start taking those has pink with it. So I really like that the pink background just happened to work out for me. But I really love working on animal-based layouts or safari-based layouts. I just think they're so fun and unique to Scrapbook, and we have all like these adventure paper pads and ephemera and fun things to use, and this is a great way to have some fun with it. But I end up using the Fancy Pants 6x6 in my kit to mat all of my photos, and I do end up changing a lot of the layout itself. Instead of doing that strip across the middle, I actually break it up into 2 sets, which I really like how it turns out, but you'll see as we move along here. And here is where I start mounting my 3x4s. These ones I end up using some black and white patterns just to have a little bit of extra contrast on those. And then even for the larger photo, I go for a second layer using this more prominently bold black with bright color layered on top of it. What's really nice about that is I actually end up sort of making this a rainbow layout, which you'll see again as the process goes on. But I had so much fun using a lot of these Heidi Swapp Color Splash collection ephemera pieces. There's a ton of pink, a ton of black and white, so a lot of high contrast, which I think works really, really well with what we have going on here. And I do create sort of a journaling spot with this little notes piece that they have in that collection. But before I go too far, I know I want to do my mixed media, so I actually included some different paints in this kit. Originally I might do a color, but I didn't like the yellow and purple tone I'd pulled out to match the Color Shine collection that I had, Color Crush collection that I had pulled out from Heidi Swapp, and using that white acrylic paint on the background with a 1-inch brush. I prefer a 1-inch brush, it gives better coverage, and I really like the look of paint strokes, so that's kind of the texture I'm going for. Now you can't tell, but this background paper is actually slightly textured, so it does take the paint pretty well. It is, although thin, so if you're working on a thin piece of pattern paper as your background, make sure you keep that in mind as you wait for the paint to dry. You might have to adhere to something else for it to have that stability again. I end up coming in with my Dilutions Mists. I have the one in white linen and black marble. And while these are not as opaque as I wish they were, they still give that splatter effect that I really like. And what's nice about doing splatters at the beginning is you don't really have to worry about it. And if you don't have mists like these, you can totally just water down some of your acrylic paint, or even just use watercolors if you have those. So I had a lot of fun adding these. And if you do want to do multiple colors, a lot of people wait in between the 2 layers. I just went in with the black anyway, because again, it's not as opaque as you'd think it would be when it dries, because it does soak into the paper. So if you're looking for something more opaque, definitely don't try these. Or if you do want to try them, try it with gesso so it does not soak into the paper. But for minimal mixed media, I don't do any prep work. I just go in full force on the background paper and make it work. So while all of that is drawing, I'm going to work on some of my layering that I'd already chosen, including these photo corner pieces from Heidi Swapp. And I also wanted to pair together this element here, which is a little 3x4 almost card that says notes, and then this frame from, again, the Heidi Swapp collection. And as I start putting those together, I realize I want to sort of mimic a lot of the stuff that's in the bottom up at the top, hence why I pull in the photo corners again, and actually do a small bit of a shelf with this pattern paper, which is again the extra layer underneath the main photo there at the bottom right. So now that everything is dry, I can start putting things into place. But I really need to figure out my title and how it's going to work. I have this piece here that says Hey, which is from the My Mind's Eye collection that you saw me work with earlier. And then I have all these other bits I'd pulled out off to the right hand side. And that's what I think expedites my layouts a lot. You guys often think I scrapbook very quickly, and while this is all sped up, and it did take me almost 30 to 40 minutes to do this, especially with dry time, probably closer to an hour, but it's really important to have out what you sort of are looking to use on the layout, and then you can just grab and pull as needed instead of having to go through your stash every single time. And that's my method to the madness. So I include that little sticker to capture that little awkward trap space, and then I'll cover up the rest of it with another sticker so I don't have to worry about that trap space that would originally been in that frame. But this is a great way to use frames, is just to fill them in so you don't have any awkward space. I love using frames that way. I think it's just an easy way to do so, and I don't feel worried about any trap space or anything coming through on the back side that I might not want to. But here I start tucking in some other elements. I've got some vellum pieces from Heidi Swap. I've got these tiny stickers that I really like from My Mind's Eye, and also some ephemera bits from that same collection. So we're bringing in more of that yellow, that pink, and that teal, which again I just think are such fun colors to use together, and I've really had a blast using them. And here I wanted a little bit more contrast, so I pull out the washi tape set that's in my kit this month, which is from Illustrated Faith. So I grab some pink and some black and just start throwing them on there as needed. And what's really nice too is that with washi strips like this, you don't have to worry as much. I really like that they're pre-cut. I either use all of it or don't. Don't hassle with the roll at least, but they can be a little finicky too, so you have to pick your poison when it comes to the washi tape method of your choice. And here's where I start working on the top right cluster. Again, I have a bunch of elements pulled out from the Heidi Swap Color Crush collection, including this little rainbow and this tag. And this rainbow says, "It's a good day." So I wanted to make the title, as you can tell from the title of this video, I wanted to make it, "Hey, it's a good day," because I thought that would be a really cute one. And when you're looking at the safari at Animal Kingdom, you might not always see all of the types of animals, but to get to see 2 elephants is pretty epic, if I do say so myself. And I really struggled with positioning all of this to work, especially with the spacing of it all, because the hay is similar in size to the tag and the rainbow is rounded on one side. So I ended up doing, of course, my fail-safe is always a doily layer. It super duper helps to fill in some space without feeling like it's adding a ton of contrast or anything else. And luckily behind that was white already, so while I'm losing a little bit of the texture from the paint strokes, it really just ends up filling in the space nicely, so I can do the title layer that I originally wanted. So I can include that tag, I can include this element that says "It's a good day," and have that full set title without having to worry about it too much. Now I do have a tag hole at the top there now that I have that one in place, so I thought about adding one. So I started looking for which color might match best, and I ended up going for the hot pink. I even tried out the orange one, but I was really unsure of which one would look best. But for these, even though they're meant for jewelry or for charms or something else, because they actually do have attachments like that, I end up just using a glue dot to adhere these down, and that's what's worked on the other layouts so far. And I really like mixing and matching in other elements, and this is sort of a ploy to you guys to make sure you check other elements of the craft store or your online shopping, because you can find great things on sale that you wouldn't normally use on your page, but these tassels would be really cute for a December daily, for example, or something cool like that. But I end up loving how this turned out. And adding some final elements, I had some chipboard there from a Paige Evans collection that I've been trying to use, so I include some of the flowers and that hello. So now it says, "Hello, hey, it's a good day," which just sounds super duper cute if I did say so myself. Like, that is just adorable. And I end up adding a little bit of extra adhesive under all of my elements because I've had a lot of humidity problems here in Florida for my pages to fall apart, so extra glue is always the better way in the long term. But I end up looking for any final touches. If I wanted to do enamel dots or anything like that, I end up adding a little heart. But I didn't want to go too crazy. This layout is pretty busy as is, but I did look for other elements I could add like this for a little extra contrast, that little globe, because it is Animal Kingdom and it does feel right to add to a Disney page. But hopefully you enjoyed the minimal mixed media on this one. I thought about adding subtitles and all this other fun stuff, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. It is busy. It is fun, lots of color, and here you can see the detail of the paint strokes and the splatters and all of the elements in the actual clusters. But let me know what you guys think of it down below. I had a ton of fun with it, and hopefully you guys did too. But thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope you have some happy holidays towards the end of the year here, and be sure to leave me a comment down below with what type of layout you would like to see next. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.